Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurudeva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangramam Vyaptam Yatkinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave. Om Pataya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Pratitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayini Ambatvamanusantatami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Sudvanti Divyai Savai Vede Sangapadakamo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Jnanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. ยันติเดววรตาเดวาน Together Pitrun yanti pitrvrataha Bhutani yanti bhutejyaha Yanti madhyajinopiman Patram pushpam palam toyam Yo me bhaktya prayacchati Tadaham bhaktyu-ardham Ashnami prayatatmanaha Yat karoshi yadasnasi Yat juhoshi dadasi yat Yat tapasyasi kaunteya Tat kurushva madarpanam. This one. 27. So in this last verse, we're looking at how this whole orientation in life changes if we live according to the prescription. So these are the verses which are actually talking out of Bhakti. And Bhakti here he is described as an offering. So in 6, saying that whatever you offer to me, whether it is a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I accept, offered by the pure mind with devotion. So, idea here is if this is done on a moment to moment daily basis with this kind of single pointed devotion, then what happens is that result of that given in number 8. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you charity, practice austerity, do it as. So this proposition of Lord Krishna, so moment by moment, we can be engaged in the consciousness of God, and how that becomes the highest purifier. The early saying, this royal knowledge, this royal, the highest purifier. So when this is happening, that at every moment, when God, walking, doing whatever we are doing, all the activities which are going on, when the consciousness, what we can purification which we are talking about, is purification of and the mind. So we have seen very different pathways through which we can achieve this. And chapter number 3, 4, 5, how the purification takes through karma yoga, how it can keep up meditation. Here is purification which takes place with our engagement, day-to-day activities with the consciousness. Who is conscious way in which possible. So if it is possible, it is for us to discover how that is. How is this principle we put in practice? This is either remember for an activity without conscious during the activity itself, we remind ourselves what I'm doing for God, or even after the I that we do puja for every the actual phase of connecting with God or during now activity going on, which changes from one activity to all the time. So how is it around during and before and after? So that way of reminding ourselves again and again, actually that can be done. It's not as easy thing, but it can be done. The other way which I mentioned, once we are in conscious where we feel the presence of God every minute, this level experiencing God not through the intellectual, but that begins to happen in God, present God, experience here and now. So this intense engagement with God becomes a present reality. Presence of God, the divinity is expressed in mind, my it becomes, and that divinity really feel the vital here and now, every moment. Because that is wait a minute. Is this of me? It is the feeling that your existence is uh, directly in my head and my heart. Thirdly, this presence which I feel as divine love. We are with some divine, passionate, loving to imagine that experience with that person. Multiply it at that you feel it every thing but of that ananda, that bliss. So this such chit and ananda is felt directly every moment, and it is expressed to the instruments of my body mind. Is felt is um, felt in as some. So that is one particular very high kind of, that means the mind has been so purified that the divinity will shine through no matter what. Through, and then to the next level is to is to be able to perceive God in each and every aspect of our phenomenal experience. In other words, what I see, what I hear, what I touch, what everything is connected to Lord Krishna. That's a list of things as to how we can experience in the phenomena of. So whether I'm looking at the sun, with water, you, all of you here, I'm looking at something inert, in tension, I have to that experience every moment. So that's the level, because everything, every name and form becomes associated, whether it is the tree or the water or the flower or the person. Open my eyes and all I'm looking for, not these names and forms, but express God. And the third way, of course, the Devi is devoted to name and form that person God has. Divinity, name and the forms in time, a living presence. No, that, that is here and living various ways. And what Lord Krishna is absolutely possible. Saying whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, sacrifice, what you give in charity. In other words, in thought, word, and deed, God is. So, what does this? So here, there is saying that can be expressed in different ways. So he says when go to a shop deals with cotton cloth. Cotton cloth is everywhere in the shop. People remember that everything here, cotton, or the goldsmith who is looking at all the ornaments knows that every ornament, and he says this is benefit. They forget that this is cotton. They forget that this is gold. Then either he will, like he's saying, thereby charging the exorbitant prices of woolens money back. Towards what he's saying, recognize everything in the shop of the world. How we can perceive this world, then oh dear. Quotation. Um, so, like you're saying that it is not the outer expression now working. So, if I say that, going to tell us that neither hate nor the expression of divinity is the same in all. I mean, the essence of divinity is the same in all, but the expression of that divinity will be different according to. I do not look at the essence, essence where I do that, going beyond the outer expression. Same, only that the outer expression is distorted because of the nature of that. So, what is the difference? See the divinity as much as in saint, I can say, yes, I say it, because if I focus in the essence of both these beings, so we may see that, oh, that, there are so many, say, this is an expression of God, then how can it be that, trying to name God and God? And how is that God is being cruel? Because if he's giving all these kind of people in the world and producing floods and tsunamis, and then there is some kind of idea that this is the God and that God must. So our understanding, how do we understand the concept of God? How do we understand different levels of expression of how do you divinity, how to form and do that way that we can blame God as somebody who got a personal agenda doing this. Actually, I can. That's it. So that is how this is very difficult. We try to look at this is also divinity, and how is it that God is judgmental in doing things. On the other hand, that the Son is good expression. So, but that is not the point. The point is that the essence is really where the focus of our attention turn to experience that level of understanding. Then actually blaming for the turmoil we feel, when we see certain, in terms of helplessness, feelings that experience, and so the turmoil that goes within. That's right. So the turmoil which goes on is other people own gain, your own make. When I see this kind of suffering on, turmoil, they may be different. Whether but gain of what are the which this filters are such that create an activity, love and passion. That is what is total experience. So again, we have to be careful. God, divinity, what it is, levels of it. I just mentioned, it is at the level of that oneness of Brahman, at the level of the cosmos, it is at the level of the spiritual, can be in many different ways, and all have to be kind of reconciled. The sense of of Lord Krishna saying that everything is me and I am in them. He says I am in them, they are in me. All this different expression, four different things in terms of how can we think about this relationship, ourselves and God, or the universe and God. So here, I mean, if that level at which the law of karma is operating at the cosmic level, group level, and so on and so on. So that is also part and parcel of the of law of karma has been put into action by what? By this the expression of as this cosmic phenomena and this reality. So whichever way you think, expression, way in which one has, on the one hand, away from all this essence, or on the other, see things. So having kind of what he's saying in 27 is that if you live this kind of life where everything becomes an offering to God, God is now included in the equation of my God is in main element of all my transactions. I live a God-centered life. So this God-centered life is lived in this intense way, in this way in which God is there all the time, present, and kind of experienced by the devotee. And he says, what happened is that on the it should be good. One can say it is for it is question or conditioning this way. Now, I am looking at this suffering in turmoil. This is your individuality on the one hand, or it a sattvic feeling is, but in any case, individual that could be a sattvic aspect of your personality. But like we say, that go beyond the gunas as well. But how can you transcended the good that what you're looking not see as who whom I force up. So let's jump.
शुभफलैरेवम् मोक्षसे कर्मबन्धनैः संन्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि शुभाशुभफलैरेवम् मोक्षसे कर्मबन्धनैः संन्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि.
Shubham and Ashubham. So the fruits of our action either be Shubham or Ashubham. These we become freed from, and he says that we become freed from the bonds of our action. With the mind steadfast in the yoga of meditation and liberated, thou shalt come unto me. The relationship cause and effect relationship here. How do we go about explaining this whole idea that this is taking place, whereby whatever I am doing all the thought, word, and deed is saturated with the idea of God, and I am living a life which is God oriented. I'm living a life whereby I'm offering everything which I'm doing to the God. What is the kind of effect of that? Is that one becomes freed from the bonds of which normally feel good, feel goods, and then the mind steadfast in the yoga of liberation. So if we see that this practice which we are carrying out now, whereby everything is being and talked about quite a bit earlier, is that this idea that I am putting aside me and the mind. So if we think about what happens day to day transactions, that everything which I do is self-centered. I have higher or a certain is which arises as a thought. The impulsion to act on that desire brings me to carry out that action in the world according to that desire. And that desire has a fruit which I'm looking for, a result which I'm looking for. My mind is a fulfillment of the desire to obtain the fruit that towards desire. I want to go out into the world and fulfill and obtain the result of that. It is something in terms of my relationships and also in terms of developing various different so that the inclinations, tendencies, and desires which arise out of that are of nine different. They will be related to anything day-to-day basis related to nine different categories of Dehavasana, Mukhavasana, Shastra, come out of the table. The Lokavasana, the emotion, relationship, world of generally community of human relationship, family, friends, community, my impulsion towards connecting with other humans, many different ways, and then the Shastra, the intellectual level of so all the desires which knowledge one way or the other, so it is the highest knowledge, finding out what best December legends and so much time on the whole kind of how to do what's in that knowledge. Shastravasana types of desire related to position of knowledge, types of then each one of them can be either tamasic, rajasic, or sattvic. So tamasic dehavasana, rajasic dehavasana, to 3 by 3, 9 one of them driving us in our transactional, in the ordinary way of living. The ordinary way of living, you can see people who are not on the path, not interested in spirit. They will have one kind of profile of this 9 category. Then you'll have another type of person, very tamasic profile. You have a sattvic person, you have a sattvic profile of this matrix, so on and so on. And easily distinguish this person an overall sattvikally inclined person, rajasic or a tamasic. And you can define even further by this area, in the dehavasana area, this person is sattvic, the lokavasana is rajasic, the shastravasana is tamasic. Different processes. If you want to know exactly what your profile is, I'll give you a form. And you will get a score at the end of the days who are a rajasic person. Overall score is tamasic. Yeah. Yeah, that is the whole point. That's the whole point, Shashavan. That, point is that we have now shift the profile from the tamasic and the rajasic. The whole point of telling them, live your life offering to God. Your whole life is an offering. Now, what does that do? That the rajasic and the tamasic elements of my vasanas and my desires are keeping me locked up in my sensuality. They are keeping locked up in me and mine. The more I function across tamasic desires, the more I identification with myself, entity, and the more I get attached to the things of the world which are related to this. So the me and the mind gets more. We function in the tamasic. The whole proposition of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, really to shift the balance away from the tamasic and sattvic is now oriented to God, is having God in all its equations, its all its transactions. And the sattvic personality, one which is famous, balanced, integrated, vision, spiritual reality, and is a personality which will experience things are sattvic mode of. So, the would be feeling this, practice this particular way in which Krishna is description. 3 months, do the test, see if your profile has changed.
yourself.
Yeah. So basically, we're talking about the same. What we are. What are I bring root of the surrendering the action itself, surrendering my all the things and what happened. Okay. Offering everything transactional world means that I'm taking the me and the mind are surrendered to the higher goal, vision, or whatever I'm doing. It is like cleansing away the me and the mind side. That practically is done by what? Done by moment to moment, offering all the giving away the attachment to the. Therefore, that is not surrender of. So surrender in surrender very useful in terms of it. It is a tamasic surrender. What happens? I don't care about anything. You just sit. God will tighten it. Blindly, you're just following. The words surrender, wishing for his. The words that is. I just the only thing is a surrender of exchange and barter. I will only surrender to if you give me this. There's a bit of me, right? But the true sattvic surrender goes beyond the ego identity. So much so that I have even the identity, me and the mind, sense of doership, sense of enjoyership. But at the same time, I'm totally to that. Actions are being done according to the goal in my life, the station in my life, the stage in my life. Everything is going on, but the me and the mind has been taken away. Concept. Now, I'm in the state of complete feeling what I have without, giving up this respect, steeped in that, being at level whereby mode of operation. No wonder Lord will come to me. No wonder, because there is no other which will stop you. So he says, you are freed from the bonds of action yielding good and bad fruit. What is it? When do we have fruits which are either punya or papa, shubha or ashubha? Going right back to what Lord Krishna is that when we do anything with a sense of identity, attachment will bring about a fruit is either shubha or ashubha according to intention. So, even going beyond doing good action, even going beyond saying that do good action with a sense of identity. So, as I do some good action, pat myself on the back and say, good action. Yeah. Happens all the time. And we feel this good. Going beyond says so, so much so that sense of identification, attachment in whatever we are doing, because everything is God. And in that case, we have gone beyond so all the good action and all the bad.
You want me to pass?
Yeah, not a bad or a bad. Because that is after satsang will bring about. I feel happy because good listening. I feel good when I actually put this into this in day-to-day life. It gives me a strength of purpose. It gives me inner being, my personality created. That is again a sattvic personality which is laying claims on what is happening when I practice. In other words, outcome of my satsang get attached to the happiness which I derive from it. Fine, it's good because in the first place, this is where we are. It says that, and that has to be so that you say to yourself, earning a lot of punya brings a lot of punya. And I say to myself, okay, oh, facilitating this class, Lord Krishna says the one is this best. Oh, I am the best devotee. Because he himself is saying that if I teach Bhagavad Gita, I will come and actually take you. Giving a talk on other yes. God. What does it? Pitru Paksha, ancestor, you offer, etc. So you're saying that passes from this life to the next stage beyond death, depending on how you lived your life. Either Lord Yama will come and his worst expression as a very fearful thing. Yeah. Good life. This is the Adama, is the Adama Preta. So once you give this form, you become a Preta. Is like the intermediate form before you go out of it. This Preta is categorized in 6 inches. There is the Uttama, and there is the Madhyama Preta. There is the Adama Preta. So the Adama Preta has lived a life without an acknowledgement of God. Uttama Preta is the one who has a good life and a God-oriented life, just like what he's talking about. And he has not become a God. Somewhere they can see something, they can say, possible. Careful how we live our life, because that will determine how we experience period between one death and the next. Only talking about life here in terms of immediate consequence as to what it does to our condition, also the condition after death. What is means, what Gurudev is saying here is that when this life is this way, then what we have is the purgation of the vasanas successfully undertaken when the mind is allowed to without any ego or ego-centric. So this freedom from ego and ego-centric desire is what happens when we live a God-oriented life. In this case, what is purification is so intense that one um, uh, one is achieving this mind which is now steadfast in yoga, and it is the yoga of renunciation. So surrender is the effect whereby when I have the spirit of renunciation of me and the mind, when I have surrendered that me, and when I am in this sense of yoga yukta, which means that I am now in complete connection with that divinity, and all the actions going on at the level of the body, mind, intellect, all the actions, the result which is that liberated. So, in other words, that the cause effect relationship here based on the idea that as much as God comes to our life, the effect of that there is purification which takes place, get away from the ego and the desires, get the purity of the mind, which then begins to shine polished mirror, which now will reflect that reality. Immediately you can know this is nothing but the reflection. Shine is there. There is this positive aura around this purity. Besides shining in the outer way, what does it in the next one? But here, so what Gurudev here is saying that the purified mind um, is associated with yoga and sannyasa. So sannyasa or renunciation, not a physical rejection of the world, but renunciation of all egocentric activities and all the anxieties or cravings of the renunciation about announcing the fruit of the action itself as being done by and this is something you can cultivate if you understand the idea of that action carried out in the body is really something which is not belonging. I'm not the power. Um, Electricity, which is now making this body mind electric function, now that state or divinity functioning, the choice in that moment just to make sure that creation about giving for the fruit of the act. And so when this identification is gone, this false identification is gone, what happens? That he discovers himself of the divine nature, and this discovery of one's own inner essence, this divine nature, what happens? So now we talk about yoga, karma yoga, we talk about jnana yoga. This is very much a kind of way of living, about seeing them single pointedly, even if it's from God, singing the name of the God, doing your japa, doing your worship, your puja, and puja as this are, can be elevated to the point whereby this universe is nothing but the body of God. I worship is evolving this way of looking at everything and saying, this is what I'm doing is nothing but this way. We begin to have this sense of the just in our life. That comes the of the essence in me is this divine nature, and that comes that what that offering discovered oneness own infinity. So um, then kind of says that okay, we were mentioning this earlier, is the same am I to all beings. To me, there is none hateful body. So the example of the all the different sciences says the electricity itself is neutral, but the expression of electricity will differ according to the appliance. But those who worship me with devotion and in me, I, they are in me, and I am also in them. This is the third option. Remember, you were saying, they are in me, I am not in them. I am in them, they are on me. No. He says here, I am in, they are in me. Last one is, I am not in them, and they are not in me. So he has covered all the corners. That's not, whichever way you approach, he says, yes, this is your pathway, this is your pathway, this is your pathway. All these pathways leading to Om Sarve
Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om.
We have the self-unfoldment classes going to start from next Sunday onwards. I announced about it last week. Self-unfoldment will give you all the basics on the spirituality. If you haven't done that class, please do take this opportunity. Kishore Bhai is going to be coordinating it. and it doesn't start very often because it's detailed text that will give you the basics very well. So please do make sure to try and attend the classes. It's on Sundays from 11 to 12:30, happening at Harrow Arts Center from next weekend, from next Sunday onward. And then we have quite a few retreats happening in our Oxford Center as well. October 20th, we have got Dashara celebrations. So bring your family. We are going to have the effigy of Ravana. We are not having it this time. Okay. We can't. But we are going to have a talk and a lot of celebrations for the Dashara. That's 20th of October from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. So 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. So please do make sure that you bring your family along, especially children as well. And we can all celebrate Dashara together on October 20th at the Oxford Center. There is the retreat on October 27th and 28th, also happening at the Oxford Center. This is on the joyful living. So if you joyful self, and if you want to experience the knowledge that we are learning, that's a good opportunity. So we just go try and live at least for one weekend, live what we have learned. And there are also opportunities for more retreats. In November, there is a women's retreat. December 9th is Gita Jayanti. So we'll have more retreats. But please make a note of all these for your calendar. We have classes full next week.
Next week, no class.
So as he said, we don't have any classes next week because Ramesh Bhai is flying abroad, enjoying himself.
What do you do?
Yeah.